I'm bored. Let's read a book. Oh!
Not one soul, not even a demon, looked from that empty parapets as my feet scuffed the white stone of the road that arrowed straight for the white oak bridge and the open gate beyond. With each step a puff of white dust rose, then fell in the noonday stillness. Not a breath of air carried down that narrow alley, and the winter day felt like a bone-dry summer afternoon. The ice and snow-tipped peaks of the Westlands glittered like glass on their heights to my left, just as indifferent as to what might happen as they had been to rise and fall of Friven, or the honest and deadly strategy of Recluce. Thud. My first step on the wooden span reverberated like muted thunder from the narrow ravine below. All red rocks, needle-pointed and razor-edged. At least there weren't any bones, not that I could see. Walking the white fear was walking across a massive drum. Antonin's coach must have vied with the real thunder when it rumbled across his bridge. The heavy wooden gate set on massive bronze hinges eased open even more widely as I watched. No one appeared. Nothing appeared either, but I could feel the creatures of chaos behind that open gate, red sparkled and dead white beings that made the lingering demons of Friven seem merely plaintive. My fingers were slippery on my staff, and I wanted to wipe the sweat off my forehead. Not all of that dampness was from the heat. The drum echoes off the bridge told me that my steps were not exactly even or ordered. I repressed a laugh, but why I thought it was funny I couldn't say. The solid oak gate opened wide to the courtyard beyond the wall and to the main floor windows. All casements and all open to let in air and light. No figures appeared anywhere, even as my feet again touched the solid white stone beyond the bridge and outside the gate. Again I could feel the insane chaos energy swirling around the courtyard. I swallowed and stepped up to the gate. Hello, the castle. The stone swallowed my words rather than echoing them. No answer. I looked around the gate, letting my feelings sweep the courtyard, but the space was vacant, not cloaked, the way the white night had been, but vacant. I took one step up to the gate, and then another around it. My feet carried me past the gate, and I looked back. The heavy oak structure remained on its hinges, open. The white paved courtyard, less than 30 cubits square, was empty and bare, except for a mounting block designed for a carriage, and a carved design above the doorway of the carriage entrance. The open windows were hinged open slightly beyond the roofline. Like the castle gate, the doorway above the carriage's steps beckoned. Both of its unadorned gold-varnished double doors stood ajar. A glint of bronze told me that they, too, were set with bronze hinges. Even with my feelings extended, I could sense nothing living nearby. Just the swirling chaos energies, a deeper underlying chaos, and a greater and lesser concentration of living white fire on the floor above. That fire had to be Antonin and some other white wizard. I banged the heavy brass knocker far harder than necessary, and the sound echoed into the corridors beyond the doors. This time I waited. One did not enter the domain of chaos totally uninvited. Standing there, staff in hand, shifting my weight from one foot to the other, I wiped the sweat off my forehead with the back of my sleeve, still marveling at the unseasonable heat, and wondering if the castle were an extension of chaos. I swallowed, then began to examine the stone around me, and the wood of the doors outside which I waited. Uncle Sardit would have frowned, even Bostrick would have frowned. The mitering on the panel edges was rough, with gaps big enough to slip a knife through. The spaces between the frame and stone were even wider, as if hurriedly installed or by poor crafters indeed. The golden varnish had been slopped on, in some places showing where raised globs had dried, without even standing or a second coat. Although I did not know how stone worked, the same careless finishing was evident there as well, with blocks joined and held in place by mortar of different thicknesses, rather than having mortar as a sealant for solid and well-fitted stones. Rap, I knocked again. The steps were slow, like water dripping from a leaky shower. Had I ever seen a shower since Recluce? A thin footman, not much taller than my shoulder, stood and opened the left door fully, stepping back as he did so. His hair and skin were white, as were his jacket, boots, and trousers. The whites of his eyes were reddish, tinted. Only his pupils were black. "The master bids you welcome," hoarse and mechanical. His voice sounded as though I were the first person to whom he had spoken since he died. Then again, maybe he only looked dead. Although he might be alive, he bore no energy, save chaos. And without it he would have ceased to be. That in itself was another paradox, pointing out that even Chaos Masters had to use some order. I would like to see him. Without another word, the white footman turned and started down the wide, white marble hallway toward a set of circular stairs. Behind us, the doors closed.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of my videos. See y'all in the next one. Goodbye!